Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rambling Runoff. I am your host, Robert Rios, as always, giving to you popular or interesting sports news of the week or so. And joining me this week, not Daniel Tom, he's out for this episode, but our guest host, co-host for today, making a return. Everybody, clap your hands, unless you're driving. Say hello to Mr. Danny Tan.
Dun, 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 dun. Bum, ba, da, ba. He's back, baby. Hello. Welcome, world. Welcome back to Rambling Runoff.
Yeah, welcome back, Danny. Where have you been, dude?
I've been working, man. I know our schedules are backwards. We're inverted.
Yeah, I know it's kind of weird now because I sometimes work in the morning and you mostly work in the daytime.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, we can't record together.
Nah, it'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, it's so sad. I mean, side note, he was like, when mine and Danny's schedules started to get a little bit different, he's like, man, I want to record too. I'm like, okay. What time are you available at? From here to here. I'm like, okay, how does that help me? How do we record? How do we fix that? I don't know. But, you know, things happen, but it's all good. You know, people are jumping in and out of this podcast all the time anyway, so it's all good in the hood.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, what else have you been up to, Danny? How have you been?
Not much going on. I moved. Working, got a raise.
Nice.
Yeah, not too much else.
And your dogs?
Dogs doing good. Got 2 of them now. Doing good. Reckless animals. What about you, Robert? What's going on?
Nothing much. Same as you. At work. I didn't move. And I have 2 dogs. And they're reckless.
Damn. But did you get a raise, though?
I think I did.
Yeah, baby.
But no one told me.
Hell yeah. That's the best raise. Surprise raise.
I guess so. But yeah, I mean, besides you being a surprise guest host on today's episode, something that's not a surprise that we're gonna be talking about today, and I'll give you the list. We're be talking about some NBA news. We got the All-Star game coming up this week, some, I guess, league news updates. We'll also be diving into some of the Winter Olympics, like some of the events we've checked out and, you know, I guess our opinions on it. And then there was this big game that happened on Sunday, and we're going to be talking about it. Fingers crossed, hopefully for sure this week. Sorry that we didn't have the Super Bowl episode ready last week. But Danny's going to be giving us what he did over the past Sunday and what he enjoys about the big game. How's that sound, Danny?
Sound pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, all right. And of course, we always have the rundown at the end of the show. But yeah, I mean, if you're ready, you ready to get back into this? I mean, do you need do you want to do like an exercise or stretch or what? You're good?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Let's do some scales. There.
Ooh, what? All right, we're
going some warm scale.
I have no idea what we're talking about, but
jump into it. Let's go.
Let's start the rambling. So, first thing, like I mentioned, we're gonna be doing talking about some NBA basketball. I know we don't always get to tweet about it or we'll mention it on the socials. We do talk about it a little bit here on the show, but there's another important game that everyone likes to watch, and that's the NBA All-Star game. Danny, I know you've always liked watching All-Star Weekend.
Yes, sir.
And ever since, 2018, 2019, they switched up the format. Instead of it just being East versus West, it's a player v player, in which this year it's Team Durant versus Team LeBron. And they basically kind of do like a draft style, like recess PE style, pick your players on your team, and that's it. And I mean, the only other difference is that they play up to a certain point average in the game and not just 4 quarters, which is a little interesting. But they are playing for charity, a cause. So it's all in good fun. But Danny, what do you think about the All-Star game this year? I know you could probably see the lineup right here in front of your screen.
Yeah. The The rosters this year are pretty stacked on both sides. I think LeBron kind of has an edge. He's got all the big guys on his side. He's got Giannis, Curry to shoot, DeMar DeRozan, my favorite for the MVP pick this year. He's got Jokic. He's got Doncic. Got Luka. Yeah, he's got Garland, one of the best rookies around.
Yeah.
Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Fred VanVleet, and a last-minute substitution. James Harden is out with the wrist injury, quote unquote, and he'll be replaced by Jared Allen.
Oh, okay.
From Cleveland.
Yeah.
One of the best rising centers.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that because that was like yesterday or 2 days ago they had just announced that.
Yeah.
And then on Durant's side, yeah, I mean Durant's not even playing. Durant's the captain. He's not even playing. He's being filled. His position is being filled up by Jason Tatum, who's also a talented player. Joel Embiid, Ja Morant is what I'm told. That's his name.
Yes, sir.
Trae Young, Andrew Wiggins on his bench. He's got Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, who could probably be a starter as well. LaMelo Ball, another last addition to the team, and also Rudy Gobert. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like these teams are equally matched with talent.
Yes. Yeah, Robert, did you happen to see the draft video?
No, but there was. I did happen to see people were talking about the awkward situation on the last pick, which included James Harden, because not even his own teammate wanted him. So that's pretty hilarious. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah. Charles caught him out on it, and Durant didn't want to pick him.
LeBron didn't want to pick him either.
Yeah, LeBron didn't want him either. Yeah.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
So funny. What a funny clip.
But hey, if we would have had East versus West, we would never have had that situation. I mean, do you like this format?
No.
Why not? Wait, whoa. What do you mean no? You just said looks cool, and you say you don't like this format.
Yeah, I think we're getting a bit of a connection lag. But yeah, I really like this format. I meant to say no that with East versus West, we wouldn't have gotten this. But yeah, I really like this format. It makes it more interesting too. You get to see, the two most voted players draft as team captains, and it grabs the fantasy guys, those of you that play fantasy, anything. You know how it is, draft night. You kind of get that same energy. And you kind of get the opinion of players on other players outside of, the very structured post-game or pre-game interviews. Like you really know if they're on a playground and if they're picking teams, who they would pick. So it's really interesting. And I think it makes for a lot more fun of a game. And it makes you more competitive too. A captain chooses you and you got to provide for that guy.
Yes. And I mean, would you say like this format for an all-star game helps promote the product of not just the NBA, but basketball in general to the public?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's something that everyone can understand, even if you just played basketball, literally, just as I said earlier, on the playground, you line up on the court, two guys start picking teams. If you're the last to be picked, James Harden in this case, it feels kind of bad, but there's a reason for it, and everyone can join in on the fun. Yeah, and specifically with this format, voting with the All-Stars is more encouraged. It seems more participative. If you're voting just to vote for East versus West, I don't think you get the same stakes if you want to vote to see who picks who and you want to put your vote in to make one person the team captain. It really incentivizes you to participate and watch and get involved into the All-Star games.
Yeah, I'm only bringing that up because one of the last episodes that I did, I was talking about how the NFL could fix their not All-Star game, but their Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl, yeah.
It was more for show this year than an actual game in which a majority of the players were just there for fun. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. But there was a handful of players that were like, come on, like, I hate losing. And, for the fans, it's like, all right, this is cool, but I just spent like $300 to watch you guys just goof around, basically. Which I mean, which is why they switched it up to this format, which is cool because now it's a little bit more competitive game and it's for a cause as well. So it's not just like, all right, it's a free slam dunk competition and there's no defense.
Yeah.
In which now they have to play and they have to play defense.
Yeah. I think before the East versus West rivalry, earlier on, especially when the younger players came in and
the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. Early 2000s when there was a lot of beef between players. There was a lot of competitiveness, but nowadays it's kind of hard to find that competitiveness in the East versus West, unless you're really in your team and you're in your head about it. But
yeah, like you're not gonna have Kobe v. Allen Iverson.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna have that no more.
Yeah, no, and you might have, like, let's say if it was East versus West again, you might have had LeBron posting up on Kyrie, but that never was a guarantee. And as you can see, with this voting, Kyrie's not even on the All-Star list. So,
well, he hasn't played mostly all season. So,
yeah, that's true. But the fans could have won it. If the fans won it, it could have been.
Well, it didn't happen, and he's not there, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's the dynamic. I think we're seeing players that we might not have ever seen, like Andrew Wiggins. What a stellar season he's had. But if it was East versus West, he definitely would not be in this All-Star list. He wouldn't be in the All-Star team, in the All-Star games at all. He might have been in a 3-point by some miracle. He might have been in no, he wouldn't. He's in the middle. But yeah, he would never been in the All-Star game. But with this format, he's having a stellar season. People vote for him, and now he's here.
I mean, LaMelo got called by the commissioner, so that helps.
Yeah. The commissioner always has a couple of bench picks. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna have a competitive game in which, I mean, who do you think is gonna win?
Yeah, to me, it's an easy Team LeBron. They've got size, they've got shooting, they've got veterans: Chris Paul, LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan's having a stellar season, inside, outside the paint, middle of the paint. Everything's covered. Curry behind the line, Luka everywhere in between. Yeah, to me, it's an easy Team LeBron win.
I don't know. I just like seeing LaMelo Ball play. He just plays with a lot of energy and athleticism, and he plays smart.
Very true, especially for such a young player.
I think we were all invested in the wrong Ball brother, low-key.
Yeah. Yeah, Lonzo's been out basically the whole season.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
This post-bubble NBA is going to be played with injuries.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's been a few injuries, but I wouldn't say nothing too crazy.
No, yeah. We've had a couple of season-ending injuries, but nothing entirely transformative in the league.
I mean, like, it's like we haven't seen nothing that's like that would drastically change the trajectory of any team. So
no,
I mean, not that we want anybody to get hurt. Knock on wood.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, I like how you knocked as well.
I knocked as well. Yeah, yeah. But so injuries, like, here's another NBA news: Ben Simmons, early injury, quote unquote injury in the league, with his mental health and him wanting out of the Sixers. His saga, as well as James Harden's saga, ended. So 2 injuries, more morale injuries rather than player injuries, have ended with both players switching teams. Ben Simmons going to the Brooklyn Nets and Harden going over to the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I would
also on that, Robert.
I mean, yeah, they're the biggest trades of the season. I mean, I don't know. I thought the Nets were trying to get a super team. I mean, I guess there must have been a lot of backstage politicking going on where they're like, all right, Harden, get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I think the Nets also made this move to try for a championship run this year. Obviously, they traded Harden over, but they also got a ton of players. They got Seth Curry. I'm blanking here.
I mean, we could pull up
Drummond. Sorry,
Drummond.
They got Drummond. Yes. Yeah, they're filling out their roster to fill in the hole that Kyrie leaves every home game.
Yeah. I mean, that's smart.
And just to spread the minutes out as well.
Because that sucks that he, is not a full-time player, so you have to put in somebody there. And he plays well when he's there. It's just, he has his opinion, which he has his right to do, but, it just sucks. That's just the downfall of it.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant's still out. And during that All-Star draft, he was asked twice if there was any update on his injury or, exactly, any timetable, and he refused to answer. I think the second time he gave a typical answer. He's working on it. There have been improvements, but there's no timetable yet for his return. So
what was it? So
I think that's where Drummond would come in, acting as kind of a bigger man.
Yeah, because what was it? His teammate fell on his leg, right?
All right, say that again, Robert.
His teammate fell on his leg, right? That's what it was?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? All those injuries are always like that. It's one of your homies always stepping on you.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue in the league has been players being stepped on or landing on another player's foot.
But it's always your own people. It's never the other way around. It's not like me and you are playing opposite of each other and like you step on my leg. It's always me and you on the same team and we just happen to crash.
Yeah. I don't know how the league wants to address that. They've made some changes. They're really foul heavy nowadays. Just making sure that no player crowds the other person's leg space to prevent those ankle injuries. But
it's always incidental. Like, you can't really stop that, but it's always with like the big names as well too. It's like, because they're always trying to, do the best for their team.
Yep.
But I mean, the Nets have Ben Simmons now, right?
Yep. The Nets have Ben Simmons.
That sounds weird to say still. Like, I'm still trying to comprehend it. Like, I'm reading it on my notes right here, and I still wait. Ben Simmons to Brooklyn Nets. Like, saying James Harden leaving the Nets doesn't really bug me because he was with Durant, Westbrook was the Thunder. Then he was with Westbrook for a little bit again. It went into Dwight in Houston, and he lands up in Brooklyn. So, all right, he's just gonna be jumping around until something sticks, or what?
Yeah, I think he's just having trouble finding a home. I don't know where he wants to end up, but hopefully, this is his home. He'll find some chemistry with Embiid and the coaching staff, but we'll have to see. He's a big personality, the big beard. It's more than just facial hair. It's a whole personality, a whole entity. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, this might be Philadelphia's moment to rise and shine with their trust the process movement, and it might have all just come. It might just all tied together now. Hello, you there?
Yes, we're back.
Where'd you go?
I went into the void,
bruh. Don't go in there. We don't like that space. But apparently, that's what James Harden told the Nets. I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny. I don't know if you read his statement to the Nets, but his last thing publicly that he said to the Nets was, his performance in the last 6 games is a threat to the Nets, and he will continue to perform that way until they trade him. So as that trade deadline approached, he threatened Nets management, hey, if you don't trade me, this is what you're going to see. Bench me if you want, but I'm basically out, like Ben Simmons. A little bit worse than Ben Simmons. because at least they had some time and they had the right time frame to scramble and look for alternatives. But James Harden's like, trade me now or never.
I mean, he's gonna sit out the rest of the season or just throw each game? I mean, you get sued for that, no?
Yeah. I mean, if he went the Ben Simmons route, he was fined every time he didn't show up.
Yeah, but what was it, like $250,000 a game or something?
Yeah, it was some crazy fucking number.
Dude, that's crazy. But I mean, was there any other trade or move that caught your attention?
Any other trades that caught my attention? A big movement in Portland. CJ McCollum goes over to New Orleans. They also trade away Norman Powell, who goes over to the Clippers.
Yeah.
So it seems like Portland's trying to restructure. They've had a terrible year. Even when Dame was playing, he would be putting up 25, 30 points, but still end in a loss.
From 2018 to 2019,
feels like
he was arguably their best
started
player.
From scratch. Yeah, rebuild with their best player. But we'll see where they go. The Pacers restructured as well. They traded away Sabonis, their star player. Any other trades? Not
incoming
any
guys that are like playing well. You're like, oh, this guy has potential. Like, and they're getting rid of him.
Yeah, I think it's those bottom of the league teams that are like, all right, we got to get rid of this star player for the potential in the next couple of years to be contenders.
Well, that end because they probably can't afford him. As in, his contract will be up and he'll want more money, of course. Right. And then they're going to be like, all right, well, let's get rid of him now before he becomes a financial distress for us later.
Yeah.
Which is common,
yes,
in like football and baseball, but not, I wouldn't say in basketball. So it's kind of weird.
No, but it's becoming more common.
Yeah, because everyone's doing it right now. It's like, dude, everyone chill the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, that's their right too, though. It's you follow the money, and if the money's not there, you look for somewhere else.
They better not end up like the MLB in a lockout right now. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but, when is the MLB not in a lockout? It's almost every year.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean, back to the on the court, with the All-Star game, is there what's like your favorite All-Star event to watch on All-Star weekend?
Yeah. Aside from the game, there's always, the slam dunk contest. You get to see a lot of creativeness, and a lot of really cool moments in that. There's the 3-point contest. And then the skills is always really fun to see. Players kind of goofing around to see what they can do and how fast they can do it. It's like you're watching them practice, but it's a little more competitive. So, yeah, just typical things. What about you, Robert?
Yeah, it's for me, and from top to bottom, it's always going to be the slam dunk competition, then the 3-point competition, and then the skills challenge. I'm always underwhelmed by the skills challenge because they always kind of promote it as like this big thing, and then it's always like, all right, they're just running around with the ball as fast as they can. So I always feel like underwhelmed. I like the 3-point competition because, like, I mean, we grew up playing basketball, like I said, like on the court at PE, and I wasn't that tall, so I always had to make space for my shots. So I always took a lot of 3-pointers. And then, well, I can never dunk, but it was always cool seeing like Blake Griffin jumping over the hood of a car, or when we had, what was it, Zach? What was it? Who was the one from the Orlando Magic and the other fool that like blew everybody away in like 2018 or 2019? Was it Zach LaVine?
Yeah, I think it was Zach LaVine.
And I forgot the other fool's name.
I don't know who you're talking about,
but that was like probably the last like good slam dunk competition that everybody arguably could agree on. And because it was like, I remember it was probably the more creative one that we had seen in a while. It had a mixture of, goofy gimmick versus old school spin around windmill dunk style of play. You get me?
Yeah.
So it's like we got a little bit of everything in that competition. But hopefully we get, I guess, a good event here. We got in this year's dunk competition, we got Jalen Green, Obi Toppin, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Cole Anthony. So hopefully we get a good showing from them this weekend.
Yes, I think Cole Anthony is the returning champ from last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So I got hope if he is, and hopefully he repeats. And if he's not the returning, hopefully he wins this time.
Yeah.
In which, by the way, everybody, you can catch most of these events on TNT. The only thing you're not going to find on TNT
not a sponsor.
Yeah, yes, not. I said TNT, the channel, not AT&T. Chill.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not a sponsor.
It's not sponsored, obviously. The only thing that's not on TNT is the All-Star Celebrity Game, which is on ESPN on Friday at 7 p.m., February 18th. There's also on NBA TV, they'll be doing like a practice, a pre-show of sort. So you can catch that if you're a basketball head like Danny. They also have the NBA v HB or NBA/HBCU Classic, Morgan State versus Howard State, and they also have the Rising Stars game, which is sponsored by Clorox.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's your All-Star weekend. That was some of your NBA news. Just a quick standings update. Going into the All-Star break. As of this recording, I would say nothing has changed drastically yet. However, there are a few teams that people are expecting to be good, just haven't picked up the slack. From I believe the last time we talked about the NBA, it's still a 2-team race in the East with the Heat and the Bulls going 1 and 2. Third is Milwaukee, fourth Cleveland. Cleveland somehow in here in this race. Fifth place Philadelphia. Hopefully they'll do better with Harden on their squad now. Sixth place Boston. In the 7 through 10 area, we got Toronto, Brooklyn, Charlotte, and then Atlanta at 10. For the Western Conference, still in first place with a record of 46 and 10. The Phoenix Suns. Right behind them are the Golden State Warriors. Then we got the Grizzlies. Then we got the Jazz, Mavericks, and then Denver at number 6. 7 through 10, we got Minnesota, the LA Clippers, the Lakers, surprisingly, still somehow alive. And then, like how you said, the reorganizing Trailblazers. So, yeah, that's where we are currently in the NBA going into the All-Star break, as of this recording, of course. I mean, Danny, are there any teams that catch your attention from that list very quickly that you'd like to point out?
There's not many teams other than the top. Off the top of my head, there's been a couple of teams with a couple of standout players that just haven't performed well enough to make it. The Washington Wizards have had kind of a pretty good season this year, just individual player-wise, but as a team, as a whole, they haven't been performing well enough to even get into the play-in. So that's a shame. If the Hawks don't pick up, they've been missing Trae Young a few games here and there. The young team will get knocked out of the play-in tournament, and the Wizards will have a shot. Yeah, in the West, nope. I mean, everything looks how it should be.
Just say the
Spurs have been doing really well. The young team in the Lakers suck. It's a fact.
Just say the Lakers. Just say the Lakers should be better than what they are right now. Just say that. That's everyone's question.
That I don't think that's a question. It's been talked about over and over again. If you
And
watch any ESPN post show.
And do you know everyone's favorite question after every NFL broadcast and after every MLS soccer game? Everyone asks the same question. How does this affect LeBron's? No, how does this affect LeBron James's legacy?
Oh, that's so funny.
For example, I don't know. Rory McIlroy wins his 10th green jacket, but the real question is, how does this affect LeBron James's legacy?
LeBron's legacy. That's funny. I mean, LeBron James individually has been killing it. You know, he's still getting triple doubles. Almost every game he leads in all categories. But just the team as a whole, they couldn't get rid of Russell Westbrook. They couldn't look for a trade. The rumor was that a trade to
AD's in and out of the lineup.
I think it was Houston to trade Westbrook away.
Yes.
Was in the works, but the Lakers declined because they were asking for
John Wall.
First round. Yes, you're right. For John Wall and a first round pick, I think, from the Lakers. And they went ahead and declined.
Well, according to what I just looked up, the Lakers also had traction in a 3-team deal with Toronto and New York with the Knicks that would have involved trading guard Talen Horton-Tucker, but fell apart because of draft picks that would have been needed to be included. But of course, I guess similar to what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, but Horton-Tucker has been doing really, really good. Compared to Westbrook, who's one of the most inconsistent veteran players in the game right now. But so I think that was the right move for the Lakers to hold on. I mean, it's just a tank this season. They tank, and you just hope next season is good and they can get there without spending a whole bunch. So maybe they can pick up some free agents here and there, but we'll have to see.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. They should be better than what they are right now.
I'm sorry, not free agents, buyouts.
Oh, there you go. But yeah. I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about NBA before we move on?
No. The last thing I'd want to say is I know Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the lead for MVP. He's the best defensive player, best offensive scorer right now. I think as of right now, he passed Joel Embiid from last week. But please, this is my campaign. DeMar DeRozan needs to be MVP this year. He's killed it. He is on track to tie one of two of Michael Jordan's over 35-point streaks. If he scores over 35 in his next game, which I believe is today. No, tomorrow. He will be tied for one of Michael Jordan's 35-point streaks. That'll be 7 games. And hopefully he'll go on to beat the number 1 streak, which is 10 games, and go down in Chicago Bulls history. Well, he already is in history, but cements himself in Chicago Bulls history and possibly go into the MVP talk.
He should be a shoo-in.
Yeah, he should be, but he's not even in the top 10 if you look at any MVP list right now. Ridiculous.
It'd be like that sometimes. But hey, when you have the Greek freak playing around in the NBA, it's going to be a little hard.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, can we move on in our programming? Is that all you would like to get off your chest today?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And yeah, I mean, that ends our NBA All-Star / NBA news update for our first topic. And moving in from the light up warm courts to the cold hills of Beijing, China, I think, even though it's moved around everywhere. We got the Winter Olympics. From the last time I did the episode, our last Rambling RunOff episode, I did go over the medal count, which has changed drastically, just a tad. But it does now include more of the United States, thankfully. In first place right now in the medal count total. We got Norway was 26, Germany was 18, and somehow, some way in third as of this recording. And with what I was able to find, my research, the United States has 17 medals in third. After them, we got Australia, Netherlands, China, Sweden, Switzerland. The ROC has drastically gone down. They only have 20 now, but they were in the top 5 before. And right under them, to round out the top 10, we got France with 12 medals in total. Danny, have you been watching the Olympics?
No, I haven't been watching the Olympics. I've read a couple headlines here and there. No, I have not been keeping up with the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. Sorry.
Have you But what have you seen then from the Olympics?
What I've seen, I saw Nathan Chen redeem himself in figure skating individuals to win gold.
Yeah.
I saw the young 15-year-old ROC figure skater go into some controversy for testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug and having any of her events, should she place in the top 3, have the medal ceremony canceled. So there's a little bit of controversial news there. And I saw that Norway was crushing it.
You say Norway was crushing it?
Yeah, they are.
Bruh. No, yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised to see the U.S. struggling out of the gate, but they're starting to pick it up a little bit in certain events. Some of the stuff I would like to point out right now, like I said, Nathan Chen, I was able to watch the highlight video of his performance. I mean, I don't know anything about ice skating, but I mean, I thought it was good. I could see in his performance and with his song choice, he was going for uplifting and power throughout his performance, because he was performing to a mixture of Elton John songs, which I feel like is very fitting to what he was going for, considering he flopped at the last Winter Olympics, in which I do recall people saying he was like a child prodigy, the greatest skater of all time, in the midst, in real life in front of us. And for some reason, in his first outing at the Winter Olympics 4 years ago, he just squandered it, But here, no, this time he kicked ass. Well, I mean, I'm saying from what the people are telling me, he kicked ass.
Yeah, he really redeemed himself. I know that he choked basically, but it's tough being he was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Performing on a world stage. Yeah. And sometimes the pressure gets to you, but worked for 4 years, got here, now at 20, destroyed the game. And yeah, I bet he's going to work himself into figure skating history.
I mean, from someone that doesn't know anything about ice skating, I feel like he certainly did redeem himself.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, to the point that we're talking about him on this sporting show with 2 guys that don't watch ice skating. But as a lot of our bios and models say, we do cover every sporting event, no matter the competition. So we're talking about it now.
Yes, sir.
And in other U.S. positive news, pardon if I mispronounce her name, Kaylee Humphreys was the winner of the first ever Olympic gold in the monobob, in which she was representing the United States, which, to explain to you guys, is just another sort of skeleton or bobsled competition. You go down the hills. So good on her. Madison. Oh, this was the other ice skating thing. I had mentioned this last week. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. In the team competition that I had mentioned last week, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, they helped the U.S. win the silver in the team competition, in which they did their duo performance, which I got to see after. Kind of know what the hell I was reading or typing in. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But apparently their performance was kind of like an astronaut falling in love with an extraterrestrial. But dude, their performance was sick because they did something similar to what Nathan Chen did. It was a mixture of Daft Punk songs from Random Access Memories, the last album they did. That shit was dope. And like I
That's
said,
pretty
I
cool.
I know nothing about ice skating, but seeing them in sync and like performing two songs that I like, I've watched it like 5 times already, just so I can hear Daft Punk.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, and yeah, they didn't. Okay, so the team overall finished second, but they, I believe, won the team competition because yeah, dude, it was really good, and they were spinning around in circles at the same time. It was kind of trippy. It was kind of like I was watching like a real life GIF like repeat itself. I was like, bro, this is blowing my head. But also, I like Daft Punk, so bam. And other, why are you laughing?
That's how you end that topic.
I
I
like
like
Daft
Daft
Punk.
Punk. Boom.
Yeah, I like Daft Punk. That's all. Dude, all I saw was Daft Punk ice skating. All right, let me see what's up. All right, there you go. You got me sold. But also another sporting event that occurred, in which the U.S. won gold medals was they had a, how would you say, mixed snowboard cross. Lindsey Jacobellis, a veteran of the Winter Olympics snowboarding team, teamed up with Nick Baumgartner, tandem race basically. One goes and the other goes. They won gold, which is Nick's first gold. I believe he's in his 30s or 40s, so it took him a while. And Lindsey Jacobellis, like I said, she's a veteran. This was her second gold in these Olympics. So good on them for winning the snowboard cross race. I used to like watching this like in the X Games and the Dew Tour. So I mean, it's cool. I don't know. I've always wanted to try that, but then again, it doesn't really snow where we are. So never probably. It's gonna be a while until I try snowboarding, or even skiing for that matter.
Well, let's go. Next time we go to Big Bear.
Yeah, you've
We'll
gone
give it a shot.
snowboarding, right, Danny?
Yes, I have.
Is
Yeah.
is it easy or is it kind of hard?
Yeah, I mean, it's always the thing people say. It's just like skating. Kind of is, kind of isn't. If you're into surfing, it's more like that than it is skating because you're stuck to your board. And that's kind of the case in surfing. You don't really move too much if you're, just starting out. But yeah, I mean, if you cruise on a skateboard or even a longboard, it's just like that. You're leaning back and forth. It's something to get used to with the speed, but yeah, it's fun.
I mean, I've never gone surfing either, so I might suck.
If you can skate, you can snowboard.
I mean,
That's it.
I kind of skate a little bit, a little bit, you know what I'm talking about?
Sorry. Well, you cut out at just the right time, so I have no idea what you said.
Bruh,
Let's continue.
I said, you know what I'm talking about. I skated a little bit, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bruh. Anyways, and another gold winning attempts. Chloe Kim wins another half pipe gold. Congrats on her. And speaking of the half pipe, I spoke about this gentleman last week, Mr. Shaun White, who will be retiring after these Olympic Games. Unfortunately, did not medal in his last run. I went down to the wire, however. He finished fourth, but on his last run, he fell, in which killed all his momentum. But as he was coming down the hill, all the snowboarders and other athletes, whoever was there, giving him high fives, giving him hugs, they're congratulating him on not just on his performance there I was about to say the X Games at the Winter Olympics, but his performance, overall in his career and how important, that he was to them getting there as well, because this guy started snowboarding when he was like 15 on the big stage. So he's been there for a hot minute.
Yeah, he revolutionized snowboarding, really. He was so innovative, getting real big time air and putting his life on the line basically to perform daredevil tricks and really wowing on the big stage. So congrats to Shaun White, and hopefully he enjoys his retirement.
You know what's funny? They did like a they asked like three people to give them like a farewell like video comment thing, and the first one was Tony Hawk. And he's like, "Oh, it's Tony," and Tony's like, "Yeah, now you have more time to skate." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I want to go skate again." I'm like, "Bro, I thought you don't skate no more." But I guess
He's retired. He can do whatever he wants.
yeah, I guess so. Now you can just go to the local skate park and go skate or whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, um, I don't know. Is there anything else you would like to point out that you've seen or caught your attention from the recent Winter Olympics?
The only other thing is that we have a quick update. Breaking news. The U.S. has more solidified their third place with 19 medals. They added a gold and a silver medal, I believe. Yes, a gold and a silver medal. As in men's slopestyle, Alexander Hall and Nick Gopier win gold and silver, respectively.
Ooh, nice. I need to check out his winning run then later.
Yes, sir.
But good eye on the update. Oh, one other thing we almost forgot: hockey.
Oh, yeah.
I know you don't watch a lot of hockey, but I know you do know Chance the Rapper. Let's do that hockey. But yeah, the men and the women have just been killing everybody. The women did. No, I want to say no. The men did see better competition with the Canadian team, but I believe the U.S. did beat them. The women this week do have a matchup against Canada in the gold medal round. So hopefully they, keep up their winning ways in which they were slaughtering, decimating in a nice way all the other female teams in the competition. But for the men, they're still traversing. I believe they're just got out of their group stage in which they beat Germany. So hopefully both the men and the women's team get the Olympic gold in hockey.
Hell yeah.
That's why I said Chance the Rapper SNL sketch. Let's do that hockey. Because I know neither you or I are
can right skate. Over my head, friend.
Yeah, we're not going to skate. We don't know how to skate. I always have to reteach myself how to ice skate every time I put on a pair of skates. Have you gone skating, Danny?
Ice skating, yes, I have.
Are you good?
Yeah, it's fun. No. I can get around the rink. But,
you'll fall down. How many times you fall down?
The first time I fell once. Second time, I haven't fallen since.
I don't fall down. I just collapse. Because I know I can't hold because I'll start going, and then like if I have to stop and I lose speed in the middle of the ice and I can't grab onto anything, I'm just gonna go down. That's just my best option. Why am I gonna attempt to move and know I'm gonna fall backwards when I could just go down and then pick myself up and try to start again?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great mentality for snowboarding and skiing, because that's exactly what you do. It just hurts way more skating. So I think you're ready to hit the slope, my friend.
Cowabunga. Is that what you say?
Oh, yeah. Everyone says that. That's the tradition. You have to yell it right before you go down the slope.
Cowabunga, G. You're going to have me yelling that out loud every time. And everyone's going to be like, why is that idiot yelling cowabunga? This is not surfing. Of course you would do that.
You know whatever you want, friend.
Oh, boy. But yeah, there's nothing else from the Olympics? Is there any more breaking news that I did not know about?
No news. Now.
Whoa.
Oh, actually, right now, in ice hockey, the men's playoff in the quarterfinals, they face Slovakia.
Ooh, nice. So hopefully they defeat them as well.
Yes, sir.
Go USA.
USA. Miracle on Ice. USA.
Bruh. That's the only hockey thing you know, I bet, is the Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Bruh. But yeah, are you ready to move on from the ice?
Yes, sir. Let's get on by.
and into the warm up and not be cold no more?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And well, as I was mentioning earlier, there was a big game that happened this past weekend. And I just kind of, for the warm, I just want to get some thoughts from Mr. Danny Tan on what he experienced this past Sunday. So, Danny, tell us how was your Super Bowl experience?
Yeah, so I was unable to watch the full game, but I caught the first half. I caught a bit of the third quarter, and I was able to rewatch the highlights because I missed the fourth quarter. But yeah, I saw a stellar Rams defense go up against the really adaptive Bengals offense. Early on, we had a Beckham Jr. really killing it. We had the Bengals absolutely destroy the Rams running game. They couldn't even get 1 or half a yard on any running plays. But yeah, we had a really kind of a slow offensive start for both teams. I think the end of the first quarter was 7-3 Rams, and things picked up a little bit to go to 10-3 at the half for the Rams, and then the Bengals came back in the third, making it 16-14, I believe. And then, in the fourth, the Rams were able to clutch it with a very, very quick touchdown with about a minute and 50 seconds left. And
there was less than 2 minutes left.
Yes. Yeah. And the Bengals were rushing for the last drive, but they were stopped by number 99.
Aaron Donald.
Yes, sir.
He really wanted that ring.
Yeah, finally.
Or he really wanted to go to Disneyland. Or both.
Yeah, both.
But yeah, I mean, overall, for the actual game, would you say this was a competitive match? Like, what is your opinion on it?
Yeah, I'd say the Super Bowl is pretty competitive. I think it may not have seemed as exciting because of how good the defense was on both sides. They were able to make stops when they needed to. We saw a lot of punt returns. But yeah, I think the crucial offensive plays that were made were converted by the better quarterback with the better wide receivers at the ends. But yeah, I really enjoyed this Super Bowl. What did you think, Robert?
I mean, I don't want to, spoil what I'm going to say later on in our podium show.
Give me a quick.
It was good overall. We got a back and forth matchup, a competitive game, and I left satisfied this time around.
Yeah, we saw Cooper Kupp kind of get shut down in the first half, but then really blow up near the end of the third quarter and really into the fourth quarter to give the Rams the win. But yeah, I really enjoyed this Super Bowl. I think the last Super Bowl that I really watched was the painfully slow. I think it was the Patriots Super Bowl where the
Patriots and the Rams. The score was 13-3, and that was when they had Maroon 5 perform at the halftime show.
Perfect. Yeah, so that might have been the last Super Bowl that I watched closely, and it was the worst one that I've ever seen.
Well, what about this Super Bowl? How was this one with commercials and halftime included?
Commercials were lackluster this year.
You think so? I thought there were some good commercials.
Name one.
There was the one commercial for Bitcoin where it was just the QR code.
Oh, that was so dumb. As soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, they paid probably $500,000 for this.
There was the Rocket Accounting, the Rocket, the one that does like the homeowners insurance, Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
And it was like a Barbie
with
commercial.
Anna Kendrick. Yeah.
But then they showed Castle Grayskull.
That was good. Yeah. That was not bad.
No, yeah, there was some good. I thought there was some good commercials. What do you think about the halftime show?
The halftime show was pretty good. It really was
It was
Dr.
pretty
Dre's
good,
vision.
bro. That was like half of the artists that you listen to, and one of them was like your favorite artist of all time, even though it was a small portion of him.
Yeah, I think uh, it just wasn't the spectacle that I wished it would. Like it's the story of Dre, and I wish it was the story of one artist that wasn't Dre.
What? Who then?
Like if it was a full Kendrick show, I would have been stoked. Amazing. If it was a full Eminem show, that would have been great.
You would have. You would have been like, everybody, shut up. My favorite
Exactly.
artist is performing.
Exactly. But yeah, it was a really good show. But it doesn't compare to the spectacles that, like crazy performers, because, these are artists, but I don't think that they're great performers, live performers, on the scale of, let's say, Beyonce and, those like huge performers that they put months and months, almost a whole year of work into their performances. But yeah, it was really cool.
I mean, they all did the same thing as well. It's just the difference between Beyonce and Dr. Dre is that Beyonce's always going to put on a spectacle when Dr. Dre lets his music do the talking.
Yes, but I wish he put a little bit more effort in.
Like,
it was cool.
As in what though? Like what would you say they needed to put more into?
Okay, so it was a cool house party theme, right? Where everyone's there. Everyone gets a little bit of a what we might interpret as their song Dre, right? Because that's kind of the thing. But if he gave a little bit more effort, like imagine if it was a house party where every section was tailored and looked like what that artist wanted that room to look like. And so it could have been, like a whole scale timeline of Dre's life. It could have gone from early on in his career, when it was him by himself, and then when he blew up with Snoop. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
that's like what the beginning was.
yeah, but but on a larger scale, so you can have something that's more visually appealing than a white block on the middle of the field. It was pretty cool when Kendrick came on, and you were able to see that there was a carpet of LA on the floor
because they were thinking outside the box.
Yeah, because I'm sure that was what Kendrick wanted. I don't think that was a Dre option. I think Kendrick was like, I want LA on the ground. And so they printed it out like a carpet and they put it on the floor so we can see it.
Oh, I thought it was a map of Compton.
I don't know what it was, but
it was a map of areas of Southern California we've been to once or twice.
Yeah, but that was really cool. But I'm sure that was Kendrick's input and not Dre's.
No, I'm pretty sure everyone got a little bit of a say, but you know these are only like 15-minute performances, right? Like there's a reason why like everything was like very like snappy, like quick. Like if you watch like the Beyonce ones or like the Weeknd one, it's because they're performing their regular songs and because they're by themselves, they could do whatever they want. In this case, it was a little bit harder because you had 5 performers and 2 special guests.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it was kind of
so
like
you really had 7 performers.
Like even Eminem barely got like 3 minutes. I think to like perform.
Yeah, I think he got even less than that. It was like barely 2 minutes.
I mean, hey, I almost jumped out of my seat when I saw Anderson .Paak on the drums.
Yeah, you cut off, but I know you're gonna say Anderson .Paak on the drums.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, I was like, ooh, Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, but my point is not that it was a bad performance. My point is I wish there was a bit more effort put into the visual portion so that it looked more of a spectacle is all.
Is Tam's Burgers not enough for you?
That was okay. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like they did the most with little. You get what I'm saying? That's what they were trying to go for.
Yeah, I mean, but keep in mind that they had months and months and months to prepare for this.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, sir.
Yeah, I just wish that even if they had better props, like if the stage looked better, to me, it would have been a top tier performance. But because it looked like a really small house party, and we only got to see like one room, really, the second room being like we saw one side, and then the second room was 50 Cent. That was it, and they were just standing on top of it. Right?
I mean, it was supposed to be
they could have done more with it.
I mean, you don't need more rooms. They were just trying to symbolize specific, like common buildings that you see like in LA or Compton or Long Beach, Inglewood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go try that Tam's Burgers now because everyone's talking about it.
Oh, yeah. I know. Let's go try it together.
Let's go right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of burgers on Super Bowl, did you have any burgers?
No, we had carne asada.
Ooh, nice. What about hot dogs?
Carne asada.
What about hot dog?
No, I had a chorizo sausage.
Ooh, close enough. But where are you more of a hamburger cheeseburger guy or a hot dog guy?
I'll take a cheeseburger any day of the week over a hot dog.
Same, bro. But hey, a backyard boogie barbecue on Super Bowl Sunday.
Ooh, that sounds real good. It's always good.
Sounds like a party to me. Modelo time, food.
It's always Modelo time.
And is there anything else that you want to point out that you did on the big game Sunday?
Nope.
Alrighty then. I mean, we can move on in our programming if it's time, as you said.
It's always the right Modelo time. Not a sponsor.
But yes, it's time for us to go to the rundown. We got a few things in here. We got to start wrapping things up in a bit. NASCAR head back to Daytona this week. They posted a graphic where, I don't know if you heard about this or if you heard the last episodes. They had a little race at the Coliseum not too long ago. Did you hear about that, Danny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they basically put a racetrack, a NASCAR racetrack in the Coliseum.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because they had this is probably why Ice Cube wasn't at the Super Bowl, because they had Pitbull and Ice Cube perform, to my knowledge. And yeah, they basically had like, it wasn't like the full like 42 car race, but the point I'm getting to is that little small track that they had like fits in the Daytona Speedway like 5 or 7 times the length of it in comparison.
That's crazy.
It was such a small track.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how do they fit all those cars in there? It's so small.
What they ended up doing was they did like time trials, and then they did like 15-20 car races, and then at the end of it they did like one big race with like whoever like qualified through those other 2 races.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so they K1 speeded.
Yeah, basically.
And then that's funny.
But Daytona this week. I mean, although having the race at the Coliseum is cool, nothing's ever going to be going to the Daytona Raceway, Speedway, Daytona 500. I guess you could say it's a Americana classic in some ways.
Yes, sir.
Like you don't even know, you don't got to know what's going on, but it's just a big enough event that you should check it out. Maybe someday I'll go see it.
Yeah, watch and hope for a crash. Fingers crossed that there isn't, but you kind of always want to see it.
No, I like seeing good racing, Danny. So you crash all you want, but I want to see drafting and aggressive driving
for 3 hours.
Well, it's not always for 3 hours, but close enough.
Yeah. Well, I know in your heart you want to see the crash. Everyone
whatever.
wants to see the crash.
I've seen many crashes, Danny. I've been to Irwindale Speedway multiple times. Which is a NASCAR home track, by the way. I think it still is. From one thing I know you don't watch to another thing I know you don't watch. The MLS season starts soon on February 26th. The season ended in November, December. Now we're already here in February. Dan, are you gonna be watching some more soccer now that I kind of got you hooked to watching the national team?
I will watch the games you tell me to watch.
All of them, because they're on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
I'll just But yeah, MLS season's coming up soon. Hopefully we could do a podium show on that as well. No promises this time. But yeah, I'm hoping for a good season considering it's going to end before the World Cup in the winter. So let's see how this goes. I believe they are going to have that MLS v Liga MX tournament, the Leagues Cup. And also, I believe the MLS, they should be having the US Open Cup this year. So hopefully the MLS teams do well. And go Galaxy. But yeah, the MLS season coming just around the corner. And more soccer news, the Concacaf Champions League started this week as well. The only one big question everyone should be wondering is, will a US or Canadian team finally win this version of the Champions League in CONCACAF? It's been, won multiple times by the Liga MX teams who have gone multiple times, obviously, to the Club World Cup, which was recently had also, I may like to mention, which is wrapped up, actually. Chelsea won it. Congrats. But yeah, hopefully an MLS club wins it. In other soccer news, UEFA Champions League has also returned with their knockout stage. Well, not the knockout stages. Their two-legged races. I just saw one of their games recently was PSG versus Real Madrid, in which PSG won with a last-minute Mbappe goal in the 90th minute with stoppage time. I would say PSG dominated Real Madrid, who either were playing terribly or were just bunkering down on defense and hoping to end the game with a tie and go back to the Bernabeu because they're playing away. But yeah, PSG came away with the 1-goal lead to lead 1-0 on aggregate. So now they go back to Spain with the lead in goals. And the last thing I'd like to wrap up is, Danny, I know it's one of your favorite times, although you don't watch a lot of college basketball. March Madness is almost here. What do you think about that, Danny?
I haven't been following college basketball for a long, long time.
I know, but I know you like making brackets.
Yeah, so I might get into it this year. We'll see.
Think Danny's going to go back to making a bracket and having it get busted in the first round?
Exactly, just like the rest of the U.S.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this March Madness. Maybe I'll put some money down somewhere. I don't know. I was kind of tempted last year. I had a few homies of mine join into a group or so. So who knows? Maybe I'll lay down a good $20 bill and see where that leads me.
Yeah, hopefully one of us wins the bracket and we can split it with the other.
Bruh. We're going to split $120 or however much we win, which is going to be nothing.
I'm talking about the national bracket. We win the whole thing. What is it? It was
you want to win the whole? I'm talking about
1 to 3 million.
I'm talking small potatoes, dog.
No.
You want to win the whole thing, Danny? The last time I saw someone almost won the whole thing was like in middle school, where this guy had VCU when they were on the come up, making it to the Final Four. That was the last time I saw anybody ever make it. I think they had 2 or 3 people that year have good brackets.
Yeah, I think the legend is my coworker had a winning bracket in 2017, but he did not enter it into the national NCAA bracket competition. He just had one for work, and he won at work, but he lost out on millions. So, a legend.
Could have won like a couple thou.
Yeah, I think he won. I think it was less than $100 because there was only like 3 people who participated.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but a legend is a legend. That's what March Madness is.
Oh yeah, anything can happen. Cinderella, man. She be coming around in March. But is there anything else you would like to add on in our show today?
No.
Is there? No, you're good.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, we're a little bit of a connection issue here, but I would like to thank you for having me back, Robert. It's good to be back. I'll give this seat back up to Daniel Tom. But yeah, thank you all for listening. If you're listening here on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow. And now, give us a rating, please. 5 stars. It helps a lot. And the show will be moving back a day soon. So we'll be going up on Wednesdays, Robert. Is that right?
Wow, no, I mean, I just post when I can now. I didn't know you were going to lead us into our end show credits, but thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to post this hopefully tomorrow or soon. Listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, like and subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.
Please
Overcast.
leave a rating.
Yes, please.
Wherever you can.
If we're closing the show now, if you want to hear more from us, you can follow us on Twitter @OffRambling. You can find us also on Instagram @RamblingRunOff. And by the way, Dan, I don't know if you heard, but we do have a TikTok now, just for fun.
Ooh, TikTok.
Yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me at Robert RRY Danny. Where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Danny Tan.
Nice. And this was Rambling Runoff. I was your host, Robert Rios. On behalf of Danny Tan, we will see you guys next week. See ya.
See ya. Peace.
Bye.